back. My name is Lucy. I'm a lactation consultant and I love history. So on this channel, I get to combine my two favourite topics and I talk about the history of infant feeding. Today, we are hopping back in time over 3,500 years to one of the best eras to talk about, ancient Egypt. Let's start with this divine image that symbolises the essence of infant feeding. Here is Isis, the revered Egyptian goddess, breastfeeding her son, Horus. This act was more than just motherly duty, though. It was believed that Isis could provide spiritual sustenance and even immortality through her milk. Now, that's something that I don't think human milk can do, unfortunately. How wonderful would it be if we could provide immortality by breastfeeding? Breastfeeding was, of course, a priority in ancient Egypt, particularly until babies reached 6 months of age, but then would continue typically until the child was around age 3. But what if a mother couldn't breastfeed? Well, ancient Egyptians, like many other cultures throughout the ancient world, had a respected solution: wet nurses. Despite being considered a servant, the royal wet nurses in particular were esteemed so highly that they were allowed to attend royal banquets, and their own children were considered kin or siblings to the pharaoh himself. The tomb of Tutankhamun's wet nurse was discovered in 1996, and its location and decoration further confirms the idea that wet nurses were held in very high esteem. However, it's also possible that she was King Tut's sister. So that in itself could explain the high status burial. And now let's look at this amazing artifact of ancient Egyptian literature. I love the fact that this has survived since 1500 BC and we can still read it today. This is the Papyrus Ebers, I think that's how it's pronounced. And it was a medical encyclopedia from around 1500 BC. It's actually the earliest example of a medical encyclopedia that we have. And it provides us this amazing glimpse into pediatric care of the time. And it mentions breastfeeding, which is very exciting for me. Here's what it says, buckle in. To encourage the flow of milk, they warmed bones of a swordfish in oil and quite curiously rubbed it on the mother's back. Or for a more aromatic solution, mother could sit cross-legged, enjoying fragrant bread made from South to Dura, I'm not sure what that was, while massaging her breasts with a poppy plant. I think I'll skip adding those remedies to my toolkit, but it's fascinating that humans seem to have always wanted to breastfeed and have always worried about making it work and have come up with some quirky ways to try and encourage milk supply. The ancient Egyptians marveled at breast milk, this nectar of the gods, a cornerstone of health and family bonds. From divine depictions to royal nurseries, we can see a tradition that placed breastfeeding and wet nurses in a position of respect rarely seen in closer history. Isn't it fascinating that the past shapes our understanding of such a universal experience? Stay curious and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you next time.